I never imagined that the happiest day of my daughter's life would become the most humiliating day of mine. When I arrived at the wedding, my name wasn't beside my family. It was on a tiny table next to the restroom. I smiled through the pain because I didn't want to ruin her special day. Then her stepfather stood up, raised his glass, looked straight at me, and said, "Today my daughter is getting married, and it's an honor to be the father she never had." The room exploded with laughter. Over 200 guests turned to stare at me, but they had no idea what my daughter had hidden from everyone. 30 seconds later, one microphone changed everything. My name is Michael Turner, and for 23 years, my daughter Lily was the center of my world. When she was 6 years old, her mother and I divorced. I never missed a birthday, never skipped a school event, and worked double shifts, so Lily would never feel abandoned. I wasn't rich. I drove an old pickup truck and lived in a modest apartment. Her mother later married Richard Collins, a wealthy businessman with a luxurious home and expensive lifestyle. Slowly, money began replacing memories. Family photos disappeared. My name was mentioned less. Eventually, Richard became dad in public, while I became Michael. Every Father's Day, Lily secretly visited me with homemade cookies. She always whispered, "You'll always be my real dad." Those words kept me alive. Months before the wedding, I offered to help pay for everything. Richard immediately interrupted. "We've got it covered." After that, I heard almost nothing. No planning meetings, no rehearsal invitation, no family dinners. Still, I believed my daughter simply wanted peace. On the wedding day, I arrived wearing my only gray suit. The wedding coordinator looked uncomfortable. "Sir, your table is over there." She pointed toward a lonely chair beside the restroom entrance. Every time the bathroom door opened, people brushed past my chair. Children laughed. Guests whispered. Some even assumed I was hired security. I stayed silent, because today wasn't about me. It was about Lily. The ceremony itself was beautiful. When Lily walked down the aisle, our eyes met for only a second. I noticed tears forming in hers. Something wasn't right. Then came the reception. Richard stood confidently with a champagne glass. He smiled proudly. "Today my daughter is getting married." Everyone applauded. He continued, "It's been the honor of my life to become the father she never had." The room burst into laughter. Then he looked directly at me. "And sometimes biology doesn't make someone a father." More laughter. I lowered my eyes. My heart felt empty. Then something unexpected happened. Lily slowly stood from her chair. She wasn't smiling. She walked directly toward the stage. Richard tried to hand her the microphone. Instead, she gently took it away. The ballroom became completely silent. She turned toward all the guests. "I've listened to lies about my father for 17 years. Nobody moved." She continued, "The man sitting beside the bathroom isn't there because he failed me. He's sitting there because I was too afraid to stand up for him." Richard's smile disappeared. My biological father worked nights, sold his motorcycle, skipped meals, and emptied his retirement savings so I could attend college. My stepfather paid for today's flowers. My real father paid for my future. The room became silent. Lily reached into her wedding dress and pulled out an old envelope. Inside were faded receipts, hospital bills, school tuition payments, letters, every sacrifice Michael had ever made. I kept every one of these. She walked across the ballroom. Not toward Richard, toward me. She knelt beside my chair. "I'm sorry, Dad. I let everyone believe money made someone a father. But love did." She hugged me while crying uncontrollably. Many guests wiped away tears. Then Lily did something nobody expected. She took my hand, led me onto the stage, turned toward the officiant, and quietly asked, "Would you mind restarting one tradition?" The officiant smiled. Together, my daughter and I walked across the dance floor. Not as strangers, but as father and daughter. Every guest stood and applauded. Even the groom cried. Richard quietly sat down without saying another word. No argument, no revenge speech, no public humiliation, just complete silence. For the first time in years, the truth spoke louder than money ever could. Months later, Lily visited every Sunday. Not because she felt guilty, because she finally understood that time is the greatest gift a parent can give. She framed those old receipts and hung them in her home. Underneath them was a small plaque that read, "The richest father isn't the one who spends the most money, but the one who never stops showing up." Some people inherit wealth, others inherit love. Money can reserve the best table in the room, but only sacrifice earns a place in someone's heart forever. If even one parent watching this feels forgotten today, remember this. Children may lose sight of the truth for a while, but genuine love has a way of finding its way home.